don't know, maybe.
Like, ask me something about.
Okay, the worst date that you ever have. Here.
Okay, I have a story. I do have a story.
And it's a funny one because I went out with a guy and he was like really pushy about it, and he anyway, like he was bad even before the date. Like when we were texting back and forth, he would be like asking really awkward questions. Red flag. I should have not ignored the red flag. Like for example, right before me going to his place, he was like, "Oh, but are you clean?" I'm like, "What?" Yeah, look, so like red flag right there. Yeah, he was bad. And then anyway, I ignored it. I go to his place, and he first asked me like, "Do you like gin and tonics?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like gin and tonics." No, he asked me like what drink I like. I was like, "I like gin and tonics." So when I get to his place, he's like, "Here's gin and here's tonic water. You can have your gin and tonic." I'm like make a little effort here, you know? Like he was not trying at all. And then when it was time to like, he was like, "Yeah, let's watch a movie." I told him I don't like horror movies. I don't like horror movies, right? So I like choose something on the TV, and like 15 minutes into us watching the thing we were watching, he's like, "It's really boring. I'm gonna change it." And he changed it to a horror movie where I told him I don't like horror movies. So it was awful. And I go like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go to the washroom real quick." So I take my phone and I call Arthur. We have a mutual friend. We met through a mutual friend. So I called that friend. And I told him like, "This man," like we were talking on the phone, and I was like, "This man, it's so awful. He's like doing this and this and this." I'm just complaining, I'm venting. And like I go back to he's like, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call you in 15 minutes and I'm gonna say that I need you so you can get out of there. Just like save me from the bad date, right?" So like I go back to the room and I tell him like, "Hey, actually like I think I have a friend that I need to like." And then I was like, "I'm gonna be honest, I'm not feeling this date." And he was like, "Yeah, I heard everything you say. The sound travels down the hall." So he heard my whole conversation talking shit about him. He deserved it, like big time. He deserved his ego hurt because he was the worst. But I didn't want him to hear that I was complaining about him.
Have a soft heart.
Damn. Oh my god. No, yeah, I felt so bad because I was like, "He's awful. He's not doing anything right. I hate him." I was like, I was just,
you know,
I was just saying bad shit about him, and he heard all of it, like all of it. So then I was like, "Okay, that's it. I'm gonna leave." I just called myself an Uber and I got out of the place. But
You don't need excuses anymore.
I was so embarrassed. Like he deserved it. Like he deserved to hear that, but I was a little intense about it, so I was very embarrassed. So that's my worst day, like ever in my life. That was the worst.